911, what's your emergency?
Please help, my husband has been shot. Send the police.
What is your location? All right, ma'am, are you currently safe?
Yes, oh my god, I think he's dead.
Okay, I need you to tell me if he is still breathing.
And this is how the case was solved. This is the Forensic Files. It's late afternoon in Center Grove, and like many others, Cole Johnson goes outside to do some yard work. He gets in his side-by-side to go pick up some firewood, but what could be a fairly easy job could be his last. Every crime scene leaves its own plethora of clues and hints left behind by the aggressor, and sometimes even by the victim. When examining the area, no stone is left unturned. The two major leads in this case are the bullet casing as well as the monster can left by the assailant.
All right, so being the principal firearms examiner on this case, I go out to the scene, go find any sort of physical evidence that would be left over from a firearm, say GSWs, gunshot wounds, gunshot residue, shell casings, an actual bullet if we can find it behind the victim. Unfortunately, in this case, all we were really able to find was a shell casing and some gunshot residue from behind where the bullets were fired. So taking that, it was a common 30-06 caliber round, shot out of a common hunting rifle. I believe the model was a Remington 720, I believe it was. that is still locked up in evidence. I haven't gotten a chance to look at it. So as we take a look at these, we can find the actual stamp imprint from the firing pin on the bullet casing, see kind of what all that firearm did to the bullet casing, and get a narrower search pattern to the rifle and type of rifle that was used.
And was the casing near the body or near the...
So the casing was actually right around 100 to 150 yards away from the victim. Obviously, it's a professional we were dealing with, someone who knows what they're doing with a high caliber rifle, as well as someone who can take into consideration wind, humidity, and whatnot. So,
And there was an entry and exit?
yes, on the victim, there was an entry wound through, right, actually about the center of his forehead, through the back of his skull. Unfortunately, obviously, when that happens, there's not a whole lot EMS and medical providers can do for the victim. So, victim was dead upon arrival, and at that point, it was just my job and the rest of our investigating crew's job to find who did this to him. Okay, so any crime scene, any investigation is going to involve some form of evidence collection, whether it be physical, DNA, whatnot. We were lucky to find all of our physical evidence from a shell casing to this drink can that we were able to use as our median for our DNA collection. Our DNA collection was utilizing the assailant's saliva as well as the lip and teeth impressions he left on the rim of the can. Finding something that's aluminum that impresses very easily is very important and very imperative to getting a good median for getting an impression collection. Matching his DNA, he was actually in a database from the military. He's former Marine, so his DNA is already in the national database. So using that, we were able to use our APHIS system and run his DNA through that, and we were able to get a match within a matter of 10 to 15 minutes.
With this information gathered by the examination team, it was a very quick process to track down the shooter, Zach Alexander.
What's going on? I'm good. How are you? You got any weapons or anything I need to be aware of in the car?
Yes.
You step out of the car, please. Well, there might be. What you been doing with that?
Huh?
Nothing.
Huh?
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
You gonna cooperate?
To be determined.
Yeah, to be determined. That's quite the answer. I suspect you're gonna cooperate with me. You have any other weapons on you?
No, sir.
Any knife in your boot or anything?
Not in the boot, the pocket, left pocket.
Left pocket, huh? All right, stand up. Left pocket. We got a weapon in the car, a firearm and a knife. Any other weapons on you?
Nope.
What you been doing with this? Out shooting squirrels?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
That one, yeah. Got any other weapons in the car?
No.
No. Anything else I need to know about in the car?
There's a couple shell casings in the glove box.
Shell casings in the glove box. From what?
My hunting rifle.
Your hunting rifle, huh? Souvenirs? What were you doing with these?
Deer. The first one was deer. The middle one was a turkey during the November season, and the far right one was a bear up in Alaska.
You know, none of these are really deer or turkey loads, right? We'll confiscate these two. Any questions?
Yeah.
Understand why I've detained you?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Weapon in there. Those.
Shell casings?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're going to go with your story about turkeys and deer and...
Yeah, I'll stick with that.
You're going to stick with that, huh? All right. Well, we're going to take you in for processing. All right.
I'm required by law to let you know that I have to record this conversation. Good morning, Mr. Alexander. You want out of those cuffs? Well, you shouldn't have shot Cole Johnson. I'm going to be conducting your investigation today to clear up any confusion with this case. Do you understand? Mr. Alexander, would you ever kill somebody? Mr. Alexander, I need you to cooperate with me in order to proceed with this interrogation.
No, true professionals don't crack under pressure, so.
Well, true professionals would not have been caught so easily.
Not bad for a rookie.
Despite his outward, hard-ass expression, Mr. Alexander was very easy to convince to expose information critical to the case in exchange for life with possibility for parole. With the new evidence of foul play of a third party present, we were led in the direction of the victim's late wife. All that was left was to confirm the motive with the contact of Cole's business associate. The sum of $15,000 was found in connection with the killer and Olivia Young, confirming all prior connections to this murder, as well as many high-amount purchases for plane tickets, hotels, and high-end dining restaurants, leading to a direct paper trail to the victim's late wife.
Took you long enough.
I'm going to be recording our conversation today, just for the legal reasons.
That's fine.
Good morning, Mr. Gatsby. I'm going to be conducting your interview today. I'm just going to ask you a few simple questions about this case, if you don't mind.
I've got no issue with it.
All right. How long did you know Cole Johnson?
Early November, about 7 months ago.
And were you ever in contact with him closely at all?
Only for the time that I knew him.
Did he ever approach you about anything that might concern you?
Nothing concerning. He just approached me about wanting to update his life insurance policy and make changes to his will.
What, can you tell me what those changes were?
Without going into full detail, he wanted to change who he was leaving his money to.
And do you know who he was leaving this money to?
Originally or after the change?
Both, if you don't mind.
Well, the change didn't go through, but he wanted to leave it to his 2 daughters. But originally it was going to, and did go to, his wife.
And if you don't mind my asking, with this will, with his change, did it go through when he died, or did it still need to process?
The changes that he wanted to make were only brought to my attention about a month ago.
Okay.
So it still was paid in full.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't really know how to put these on.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
Miss Young, we know you hired a hitman to kill your husband.
It's not my fault. He was trying to cheat me out of my money.
No matter what you think he was trying to do, you had an innocent man that you claimed to love killed.
Yeah, and I'll have you killed next.
Not likely, Miss Young. Not likely. I'll take you to the courtroom now.
And this is how we solved the murder of Cole Johnson. This has been your Forensic File.